Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Yvonne and you have landed on Ginger Chick Rehab, where I love to take pre-loved items and make them over for you all and share the process with you of what I do to give these items a makeover. So in today's video, I am so super excited that I got asked again from IOD, which these girls have some amazing products. So this is their spring line release. So in today's video, I am going to be doing a piece of furniture that is an ugly duckling. Oh my gosh, nobody wanted it at the auction. They don't go over under $5 at an auction, at this auction anyway, for an item. And you know, I'm like, I think I can make it look better. So in today's video, I'm taking an ugly duckling, painting it with some amazing milk paint, giving it a new look, and then using some IOD transfers. You will not believe this makeover, y'all. So I hope you stay for the whole video, because it just keeps getting better and better with everything I add to it. So is this a true ugly duckling? There's nothing amazing. Well, there is some hidden treasures here. I absolutely love the paper in the drawers. And I do like the beadboard look that it has going on. This little homemade, probably had a purpose back in the day piece. Nobody else wanted at an auction, so I took it home for $5. I'm not sure why the legs are added on there. It makes it kind of wonky and oddly tall. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to remove these, because I don't think there's any necessities to them, but I think they were added because this piece of wood is too large, and you can see the wood glue that, yeah, that's probably why the legs were added. Oddly enough, as small as this little chest of drawers is, it's super heavy, and I love this vintage paper. I'm going to try to save that. I hope that when I clean it, it doesn't come off. I'll just work it into my design. And this is basically what it was a box, and then they put all these boards on it and made drawers for it, which then made it super heavy. So Chris is going to go ahead and mark where he needs to rip that piece of wood down, because it's just too big. My idea for this cabinet is it's a cabinet that would sit on top of something, not necessarily a standalone little cabinet. It just needs to be a chest of drawers sitting up on another piece of furniture or on a table of some sort. No, they didn't want these legs coming off. They are on there. Who are they ever on there? So a lot of hammering. The world's longest nails were used from the inside to... See, I told you they were long. So I have to tap them back in and pull them out. But yeah, they didn't want these legs coming off. So this is actually a tongue and groove type of wood. So yeah, so you have to make sure that you cut it on the right way so it can tuck back in there. The groove part is where it needs to be. And it may look like, you know, oh, that's still too long. Well, this is the drawer that sits in the body of it, so it does need to overhang a little bit. Now, just the way that they built these drawers, there's a huge hole from the inside drilling through a large piece of wood to get these handles, these knobs on there. So I'll have to see. All 6 of them are there. They're working. They're tight. We'll see if they fit into my design or not, because I'm not sure, like just the screw wise and the hole wise. I don't want to fill these in and try to drill a new hole through this, because there's like a quarter size hole in the inside of these. So hopefully these will fit into my design and I can use the same hardware. So here's a little bit better of an angle as I'm fixing the top drawer. Has this divider in there that I need to try to fix, It's not attached anymore. You can see how it's free flowing. Got some extra nails that need to come out. I'm probably going to have to paint the individual drawers anyway. There's some bad paint. There's some splittage. Really shiny top coat. But I want to fix this divider because it's not something we can take apart and, like, yeah, it is what it is, because the contact paper I really want to save, and that both of those two pieces are cut to fit into the divider, and then you can see that front area where that big thick wood is, where they added the tongue and groove wood till. Yeah, this is just one of those pieces. I'm like, okay, I'm going to make it work. We're going to fix this. First, I need to get these little nails out that don't want to come out of this wood so we can attempt to fix this little divider. Whether y'all think I paid too much at $5 for this little chest of drawers, the auction we were at, they don't go under $5. So when I saw this little chest of drawers, I'm like, everybody could use a little bit extra storage. I think I can make it cute. I think I can turn this ugly duckling into something, especially knowing that the spring IOD line was coming up. So yeah, it's heavily top coated, but surprisingly that top coat is sanding right off with some 80 grit. So now that I have everything sanded, I'm just going to go back through and I'm going to clean everything with some Dawn dish soap and some hot water. So I've got a lot going on here where I sanded, you have stain, you have maybe some top coat left. So I'm going to go ahead and seal the entire piece in with a couple coats of shellac, waiting for it to dry in between coats. So it's just one of those things. Yes, that inside with it being painted, it's not very pretty. I want my whole piece to be pretty. So I'm color matching to what that paper, the contact paper is. And so the Carriage House by Fusion, I think, matches perfectly to one of the lighter greens in that paper. Oh, if you have not used Fusion paint, it's primer, paint, and top coat all in one. It has amazing coverage. Love this little brush. I always link everything down in my description box. If you're ever interested in anything I use, the same place that I get the brush and the Fusion paint from is the same place that you can get the IOD transfers that I'll be using later on in the video. Okay, let's open the box and see what we have. IOD is just an amazing line. I hope y'all, if you've not tried any of the IOD products after you've seen this video, I think that you'll be wanting to. So, yes, so we're doing the Transfer Collage De Fleurs. Oh my goodness, their graphics, their attention to detail are right up my alley. I just absolutely love the IOD line. You're going to step outside our comfort zone and we are going to have fun with this little chest of drawers. That paper inside is awesome and amazing, though I don't think it really has the curry yellow color in it. I think the flowers and everything that I do to it will make it eventually all coordinate. So yes, I am doing some bright, fun, well, curry's kind of bright, fun yellow color. And curry, oh, I've only ever used it one other time and I absolutely loved it. So I'm using Sweet Pickins milk paint. And if you've not used Sweet Pickins milk paint, it is a powder, as you see. So it's equal parts powder to equal parts water. You stir it for 2 minutes. You set it off to the side, let it thicken for a little bit, and then you can paint away. With all the prep that I did to the piece beforehand, sanding it, cleaning it, a couple coats of shellac, you can see that the paint really has bonded on there. I'm not looking for a ton of crackles or crazing or anything like this. If it happens, that will be wonderful. I kind of prepped it with the thought that the Sweet Pickins milk paint would absorb into the wood. A little bit of crack and crazing here and there would be nice, but I didn't really want any chippiness because it's really not pretty what was underneath there. So it does need a second coat. So I'm just going through and applying my second coat, which you can see is bonding to that first coat, and I'm getting some great coverage here. So there really is a hue of the curry color in there. I didn't notice it at first, but once I painted it curry, it kind of popped out. So it does go with that paper. I have everything painted. I'm going to go back in and I'm going to sand everything nice and smooth with a 220 sandpaper. I always try to do the most I can with the orbital sander to save on my hand, but I'm not looking for a ton of distressing, just a little bit here and there. Now, the detail on these flowers are amazing. The girls from IOD never disappoint. The details are awesome. So at first I thought I was just going to go with these creamish ones where I really thought that the curry brought out yellow in the creamish ones. But then I'm like, you know what? I think I'm just going to go for it. I think I'm going to go ahead and add more than just that color. And they might look a little bit large comparative to that chest of drawers. But sometimes when you have that instinct, you just go for it. Usually it draws you into the right path. So at first I'm just cutting out a few of them to get an idea of where to start. So now, if you've not done one of the transfers before, once you take that backing off, your image is sticky. So you really, once you land it someplace, a lot of times it sticks right away. So it's not something that you can lift back up usually. If you're lucky, you can. So we're just going for it. So I just put the whole transfer down, and the package comes with this rubbing tool, and the rubbing tool will start to release the transfer onto whatever you want to put it onto. So then you slowly start to lift up that top paper, the grid sheet, And then you can see that when you have it, it's transferred down, it turns chalky. It's not that clear image anymore. And I know I have some overhang. We're not going to worry about that. We're just going to fold it right onto the side of those drawers, and whatever sticks will stick. All I can say for anybody that has never done one, the first time you do one and you get it stuck on there and you feel it is silky smooth, and your heart will just be so happy. So we're just going to go for it and keep adding flowers on the whole thing. I'm not worried about like the slats in between. Right now, I'm just getting the images on. I know it's looking kind of busy, but you're again, trust your process. Now, this is even a little bit more stressful, is I'm going to cut a little bit off one of the flowers because I really want to add in a little bit more of the tone from the bottom flower, and this one matches perfectly. And it's okay to cut pieces and parts to use in your design. And I'll go across to the other side. I still want to add a little bit more of that color, that pop of color in there. And here again, I'm just cutting a little piece that will fit to add it to this little area. I'm going to go in with some of these smaller flowers and cut them apart and just kind of put them in that dead space where there really isn't anything. Okay, now I'm going to go in and very gingerly, with an X-Acto knife, pushing down on the transfer and then using my fingernail to fold that edge ever so slightly onto that slat. So you got to very gingerly do this. If you try to just pull it really quick or anything like that, you're just going to rip your transfer. It's just going to pull off. So just a little bit like in a downward motion. And if it does, oh well, we're going to just work it into your design. It's like every little step you do makes it look like it's just been painted on. Don't they look like they've just been painted on? Especially now that you can see the slats. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking some 200 grit sandpaper, taking a little bit, just going very gingerly where I made those cuts, sanding that so it's a little bit smooth, that you don't have to worry about anything coming out. And then I'm going to run that 220 sandpaper. You don't have to do this, but I am a fan of distressing and aging a piece, so I want to give just a little bit of age to these transfers after I make sure that everything is where it needs to be. I cannot forget about finding where all my holes are for my knobs. So I'm going back in, just sticking the X-Acto knife in there, just ever so slightly, just to find the hole. Now transfer are something that need to be sealed in. Now I'm not quite done with my project, but I want to get these sealed in and make sure that they are good to go. So I'm using some of the Homestead clear wax, and I get the big tub from the Painted Heirloom. It's the same Maker Fusion. You can get a smaller version. Love the creaminess of this wax. So just getting all these images sealed in. Now I want to give this more than just wax. The wax is awesome, it's sealing everything in, but I want to add age. So I'm going back in with some Jolie's black wax, especially on the corners, the details, the slats, and then I'm just going to blend it in. So it's wipe on, put it in those details, and then blend in and wipe the excess off. Now if I did this before I put the clear wax on, it would really be a lot blacker, a lot darker. I just want to add a little bit of dirt, a little bit of age to this piece, like it's been around for a long time. Then the thing about the darker waxes, as you see, any crazing, crackling that happened, it gets down into all those little crevices as I'm blending it in with the natural clear wax, and just brings out that detail, really giving it that authentic old look. So I said I was going to be adding some wording. Now I'm not freehanding the wording by any means, but I am using Fusion's Coal Black as my stencil paint color, and I'm using Funky Junk stencils to add some wordage to this. In my mind, this would be so super cute on somebody's potting table, somebody's potting area. Oh, so I have all these signages, and I'll link them all down below, that I'm going to be starting to add seeds and garden and that type of wording to this piece. Yes, right over the transfers, right over me waxing. Now, if I would have done this before I waxed, the lettering would have been on there. It would have been dark, 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 but that's not what I'm going for. So to apply my paint color, I'm just using a makeup sponge from the Dollar Tree store. Dry technique, there's just a little bit of paint on this sponge, and I'm just doing the pouncing technique so that it stays just on the area I want it to be painted. This is one of the reasons I needed to find my knob holes. That way I can center my wording. I'm just really eyeballing my lettering in between, my stencil in between where the knobs are. And I'm just kind of free flowing. I have a whole bunch of the stencils, and they all kind of have a garden theme. And I'm just going to fill in the space until I'm happy. I have all my stenciling done, but I don't want it to be that crisp dark. So I have 220 sandpaper on my hand, and yes, I am. I'm going back in and sanding it. Now, since it's been waxed, the wax only sat on there an hour. That paint is going to, as you see, just come up. I wanted it to have age. I wanted you to be able to see those flowers underneath. It's kind of it's kind of scary because you kind of have to take what comes off as what comes off, but I really loved that tattered look of it. I'm going to just take a dry cloth, brush off any sanding dust that might be left behind, and I'm going to seal the entire front section in with some weather defense to make sure that that stencil where I put it, since there's wax underneath, will seal this all in together. And it, oh my gosh, it is just, I have had so much fun with this piece. So I saw no reason to try to paint those knobs. I think the wood accent is really pretty, and it just really just coordinates with it all. But the only last thing that we're going to do is we're going to add some of these little rubber feet to the bottom of this chest of drawers just to make it easier to move around. And that way you don't have wood scraping on anything. So thank you so much for watching today's video, and what did you think? Yes, that $5 ugly, chunky chest of drawers is a beautiful piece now. Now you can use it for storage, you can bring it into your house, you can use it on your, as like a potting, put your seeds and your bulbs or anything like that. It is a solid piece. It is super heavy, but boy is it useful, and I'm glad I was able to keep that contact paper, because what's the chances of ever finding that contact paper again? It was just absolutely beautiful motivation for my colors that I put on it. And then the final touch, you know, we started off with the curry, which is a kind of a scary color. Not everybody is into the curry color. The yellow, then adding the black wax, and then you add those transfers to it. Oh my heart, those flowers are beautiful, just beyond beautiful. And then finishing it off with some wordings to really tie it in with that garden theme. And yes, you see Tater in the back. Of course, you know, I had to shut my windows because it's really noisy on our road, and it's a beautiful day out. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you look at ugly ducklings out there and about in a totally different way. Paint, transfers, stenciling on them just takes them to another level. The hard part is envisioning what an item can become. So again, if you like any of the IOD transfers, get them while they are hot, because it's the spring release. I always hook you up through the Painted Heirloom. Vonda is awesome with shipping and helping you with any of your needs. So again, thanks for watching today's video. As always, if you're part of our YouTube family, thank you so much. And if you're new and you're checking out this video for the first time and you love to make over items, you love pre-loved secondhand finds just like I do, and love to be inspired by others, Please smash that subscription button along with the notification bell so you know when we uploaded a new video. And we will see you next time, guys, and you can see what we're up to. Bye!